Ciao, ladies and gents. Got this question sent in. Function f is defined by f of x equals square root of x squared plus k squared all over x. For x is greater than 0, where k is a positive number, so x can only be positive and k has to be positive. Find the value of p for which the inverse equals k. Okay, so first thing we want to do is find the inverse of this. So first step of finding, step of finding the inverse of that would be let it equal y. So I'm going to have this, just double check I've got it all written down. Okay, first step, I'd rewrite f of x as y equals like so. Then I reverse all the x's and y's to get this. So x becomes y, y becomes x. Now I want to make y the subject of this. So first thing I'll do is multiply y across. Then I want to get rid of that root, so square both sides. So the left hand side becomes that. Then get all the y's on one side, so I'll put them on the left, because why not? Take y squared out as a common factor, because these two won't mix, and we need to get y by itself, giving us this. And then divide both sides by that, excuse me, that x squared minus 1, which will give us this. And then lastly, square root both sides to get this. Now you could leave it looking like that, or you could technically do square root at the top, square root at the bottom, and the reason for that is that you can make the top just k, but you can't technically simplify the bottom. So that gives us our y equals, and then rewrite that in inverse notation. So f minus 1x, so the inverse of f is, why not? I'll just write it like this. It's probably how most people would leave it anyway. Okay, then what did I ask? Find the value of p for which the inverse of p equals k. Okay, so if I plug p into this, then the answer is k. So if I put p in like that, this thing becomes k. So I sub p into the inverse and sub p into the inverse function and the answer is k. So that should give me the following. So I've just replaced x with p and I've replaced this f inverse x with k. Then I'm going to, do I have to solve it? Find the value of p for which that equals that. Okay, so now I've got to rearrange this to get p by itself. So square both sides. This is a bit of a monstrous question. So I have that. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by that denominator. And I'm just going to break out that bracket at the same time. So k squared p squared minus k squared equals k squared. Add k squareds to both sides because now we're trying to get p by itself. So we end up with this, and then divide both sides by k squared, which will make the k disappear, and then p is going to equal the square root of 2. I don't need to put plus or minus, I don't think. It says find the value of p. P is going to have to be... I'm going to leave it at root 2, but there's a reason why it's not going to be a negative. I just can't see why it is in this moment. But yeah, root 2 is our answer for that first part.